quick, have you guys seen the new updates to Marco Polo that they're charging a fee for some of the stuff you used to be able to do?
Yeah, that's why I don't use Marco Polo that much anymore. Just a few
I
people.
Can't fast forward anybody.
Can't fast forward. You can't hyperspeed.
He can't fast forward me.
I can't fast forward, Carla. You can fast forward you, but if I fast forward you, I can't hear anything. Like you can fast forward like 5 seconds, but then, you know, can't hear everything. So
yeah,
you can't get the squeaky voice to happen. So, all right. So corporate stuff. Black Friday is coming up this weekend, starts Friday. I do not know like any special offers or incentives that are going to be offered at this point. And if I hear anything or find out anything, or if anybody on here knows anything, you know, raise your hand, say you know something. Greta, you're in all those different groups. You got any insider info? No? Okay. So anyway, so we'll continue to wait, and if somebody has something, then we'll talk about it. I changed the background screen for Working from the Beach. It starts this Friday. Starts at 13. So I changed the background for Great Nutrition to a new logo. Slightly different than the old one, but just so you guys know, there are some different logos on there. And if you change any of your profile pictures or stuff like that, then it sends out kind of a notification to kind of everybody in the group, which just kind of sparks people to either come back or leave or whatever. But I would encourage you guys to remember to, on occasion, change your profile picture on your Facebook or your any of your other social media stuff, because that gets a bigger algorithm than just changing one or two things, or just making a post. If you make a post, you get some algorithm change, but if you change like your profile picture or your background picture, then you'll get more algorithms checking in on you. So don't be afraid to change that profile pic, or actually not that you shouldn't be afraid to do it. You should be practicing doing it regularly. Additionally, on the corporate side, the Grow Week is going on. I don't know how many of you are being involved in that. I listened to it yesterday passively. Today I was actually actively listening, and I made some posts and did some things based off of what they suggested that we do. Today was Emily Vavra. I know that they're replaying them each evening, but I think the replay is like right now. So I don't know if it's a solid recording or if it's just being replayed just for the purpose of being able to listen to it at the exact same time. So, but I tried to post some stuff in Working from the Beach that I thought was relevant, the messenger group. If you're not in that messenger group, let me know and I'll make sure that you're in there. But I think I see the people on here, and I think everybody's in it. But there were some great comments, some great content that Emily recommended that we do. The thing that I requested that everyone do, and then the thing that I put into the Working from the Beach messenger group that everyone should do, is not only make the post about a positive post thing, but then also to follow that up with each person that likes it or comments on it. We get pretty easy about following up people that comment, but how many of you are sending messages to people that liked it? So my message that I've sent to everyone, and I need to go back into it because it's been a little bit, but the message that I sent to everyone was pretty much the same, and it said, "Hey, so-and-so, thanks for connecting on my post. We needed some good news. 2020 has been a bit of a bust. Hope you and yours are healthy and happy." That's it. I didn't say anything else. I didn't say anything about Isagenix, didn't say anything about nutrition. I just simply thank them for being a part, thank them for comment. I actually just said connecting, because connecting I thought was a valid word regardless of whether they commented or whether they liked it or emojied it, right? So connecting. So thanks for connecting on my post. And then because mine was about the Fiji trip, I said we needed some good news in 2020. you guys could have said anything else that you wanted to say that would be relevant to yours, right? So like in yours, Michelle, you know, you could say something along the lines of, you know, thank you for connecting on my post. As you can imagine, you know, maintaining that weight for this long of a period of time has not always been easy, right? But like with any goal, I'm sure you have, you know, you stick with, some of them you stick with and some of them you don't. And hope you and yours are healthy and happy, right? That way you can say what you know, touch about what they commented on, potentially open it up for some conversation. I probably would recommend being a little bit stronger on the close side of that, where I said, hope you and yours are healthy and happy. We're asking a question. Is everyone healthy and happy in your household? Right? And then that would cause maybe more of a conversation where maybe I missed some. So rereading it and saying it out loud makes me realize that my downfall was probably not opening up. But I did get quite a few conversations started. I didn't get anybody to say, hey, I'm going to jump on board or anything like that. But I did get somebody to ask me a little bit more information about the business side. But that's okay. I mean, I wasn't looking for a specific response. I was just looking to create some conversation and kind of learn how to do this, you know, being more engaged in my posting. Okay. And I would tell you guys that that's probably the thing that I've done the worst at, is on a regular basis of tracking those posts when you make those posts, and then looking for engaging connection, right? So when you send a message to somebody, thank you for commenting on my post, or thank you for connecting with me on my post, that gives you a really, like, they're actually opening the door for you by commenting. Because how many of you guys scroll, and you never hit the like button? You see all kinds of things. You don't like it, you don't emoji it, you don't do whatever. So that simple act of hitting that like button or hitting that emoji button, although it doesn't seem like a lot, it really is, right? That's a pretty significant thing that they've taken that moment in time to do that. So when they take that moment in time to do that, I would encourage all of you to take the opportunity then to follow up with that person and thank them for taking that moment of their time, right? And it's time consuming, guys. It is huge time consuming. And you kind of got to lock a time in and just go through and knock them all out. For me, it's easier for me to make the post and then stay on that message for about an hour, and then I got to go away, right? So, but if you make it at the beginning of that time when you're going to do your social media work, then that gives you the ability to stay with it throughout that entire block of time, whatever you have. Whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is you're going to do, just kind of lock it in and do it, okay? But the positive post thing's great, and I would encourage you guys to continue to make some posts on that. And we'll continue each day with something, because when they're putting out that information, whatever we pick up from that, we'll create something and do something with it. On our team side, Top and Roller, I'm going to put it out this evening as soon as I'm done with this call, but I'm going to put out a Top and Roller post. And basically it's going to look like this. And this is going to be something that all of you, I would encourage you to engage your teams and show them how to do this. You're going to get 1 point for 100 BV or more. They're going to get 3 points for any 30-day pack. Okay? So 150 points from whatever is 1 point. 164 points from a 30-day, or 180 points from a premium pack, or 300 something points from a value pack, that's 3 points. Okay? And the reason is that I firmly believe, going through statistics after statistic, if we can get back to the systems of what Isagenix is, we're going to have more long-term success. And I think what's happened with the 11-day shreds and some of the other stuff that we've done is we've sold it on ourselves. We sold it to ourselves that and I hate saying this out loud, but there's a dollar value that we've all locked into our head that is what somebody will pay. And that wasn't true 5 years ago. It's not true now. We sell that product price to ourselves, and that's what we promote. So if I can offer a incentive to cause people to at least offer a 30-day, then there's more value there. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to have, I don't know how many of you guys have looked to see what your retention rate is or anything like that. But my bet is that if you look at your retention rate based off of people that start with a system versus people that just start with 1 or 2 items, your system retention rate is higher. It doesn't always happen that way. I didn't start with a pack. I'm just saying that as a rule, as a general rule, and if you certainly look at Isagenix data, Isagenix's data is that as well. Carla, you raised your hand. You got something?
Well, I was just going to say that I can say that that is true. There are, if people start with like the Everyday Health Pack, which is, on a budget one, or the 30-day pack, they are going to have some kind of an experience. Even that smaller Everyday Health Pack, they're going to have some kind of experience in, 2 weeks, because Isagenix is unique. And they say this, they're unique because they have shake days and they have cleanse days. The people that start with some BIA and coffee or just e-shots, they're not necessarily, well, e-shots they might be, but they're not necessarily having an experience. They're not losing weight. They're not feeling bad across the board most of the time. They're not having an experience, and so they don't feel the need to reorder. So I have since seen that in our group.
Yeah, and I would tell you guys, it's like this: if you sell someone, if I sell Terry a canister of shake, she signs up the canister of shake. At the end of her usage of that canister of shake, then if she goes to, a store, a big box store or Amazon, and says, oh, well, here's a canister of shake, I can do that, right? Because maybe it was $35 instead of $42, right? So it's cheaper to have that canister of shake. Whereas if she starts with a system, then she's engaged in the Isagenix system. And being engaged in the Isagenix system, you're not going to get that on the big box store. You're just not, it's not going to be the same. So the experience level is different when you follow a system. And one of the things that we've tried really hard to do with our 11-day shreds and the 28-day shred is to give the experience of the system so that they want to continue. And that's the good thing about putting together the 11-day shred, is that even those people that want to hit that price point, at least they're going to experience the system of the 11-day versus just taking a shake every day or shaking Ionix every day. I think there's value in that system. So anyway, that's my thing on that. That is what I'm going to put on, and I would encourage all of you guys to look into the top enroller, and we'll do a decent prize for the top enroller. I got to kind of throw some numbers around and see what works, but we'll do something with top enroller. And then I think I talked about this last week, but if I didn't, I'm going to tell you guys again. On your website, on your Isagenix website, you can now toggle and remove the retail price. You know how you got the sign up and save or the buy it now? You can toggle that to take that off of your private website so that it only says sign up and save. I don't know how many people that impacts. I don't know how many of you guys promote your personal website that heavily. I've been promoting my Isagenix personal site more, just because what I've been doing is, if I post it out there, it's workingfromthebeach.isagenix.com/guide, and I almost always put in there, take the quiz. So when I make a post, I put take the quiz, and then I do www.workingfromthebeach.isagenix.com/guide. And the curiosity of taking the quiz has led some people to actually take the quiz and reach out to me. So I would tell you that if you go to your personal website and you do the /guide, it's right there. You can't go anyplace else. It says take the quiz. And I would encourage you guys to use that site. I think it's valuable, and I think that it, well, at least for us, it has worked. Okay. All right. Has anybody messed with that at all? The retail toggle? Anybody changed it, messed with it? I don't necessarily know that it's valuable to get rid of it. And I don't know how many of you know this, but if somebody goes to your website and purchase retail, you get the spread. You get that 25% spread as a bonus to you. So if they pay whatever it is more, 25% more for a 30-day pack, you would get the BV and you get the money, the difference between the wholesale price and the retail price. IceGenix just sends that to you. So just so you're aware, that is the markup, that you do receive that markup if somebody orders it. All right. All right. Carly, you'd give me a couple other things to go over, and I'm not seeing them where I wrote it
down. I forgot.
You
already said that you connect with everybody. Did you tell them what you said?
Yep, I talked about that. Did anybody else?
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. It was you wanted to point out that I'm higher on the leaderboard than you. Sorry, my bad. I forgot that.
Yes, Carla's higher on the leaderboard than we are, but just like any good pool shark, I reeled her in because now she's like being all cocky, and she said, "Oh, hey, let's make a bet on who's going to have the most points at the end, and then whoever has the most points, the loser has to buy the winner dinner at their choice. And when we're on the vacation, we're on the Fiji trip. So like any good pool shark, I had to let her get a little buffer so that I can crush her and make her pay. So yeah, that's how pool sharks work, Carla. It's okay. I'll show you later. Did anyone else do any of the exercise today from the Grow Week? Did anybody else make any posts? Michelle, I know you did. Did you have any conversations?
Not yet.
Okay. Michaela, I know you said that's about the time your nap time.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it tonight.
Okay. I was just going to see if Carla, did you do any of it? Okay. All right. I just want to see if anybody else had any comments that you were using that you felt were causing any additional engagement.
I did your thing today, and so far everybody that's commenting is already an IceGenix person on our team.
Okay.
So I need to do some other things to get some other people to comment, because once somebody else outside of IceGenix comments, then other people seem to join it. You know how that works. But
I did take advantage of the fact, though, that I had some IceGenix team members that commented on it, and I still sent them messages thanking them for engaging, just to kind of take the opportunity to cause some conversation. So just be aware of that is an option for you guys to do as well. All right. Tracy, I know you're listening. Do I miss anything? I hear her moving her chair, so she must be coming in here to tell me what I'm missing. Oh, the Thursday calls, that was corporate notification. The Thursday calls, if you guys are not doing that, I would encourage you to do that. I will tell you, they're not short. It's an hour and a half to 2 hours, but it's good training, you guys. It's good. There's some good information. There's some good training there. Again, I would encourage you to take a look at it and listen in. This business is one that will give you as much as you want, but there's none of it that's free. Like, because the free is your time, and that's not free. And there's time commitments that we all have and that sort of thing. I'm just telling you, if you decide to take the time to do it, it's valuable, and you can continue to drive people, to your pages and your social media. But there's also that need for that verbal communication, whether it's phone calls or text messages that lead to phone calls, messages that lead to phone calls, any of that kind of stuff is important. I would encourage, especially the faces that I see on here, if you guys have any ability at all to get involved in a networking group, maybe put that on your agenda for next year, starting 2021, that you're going to get involved in some sort of an in-person or even a Zoom related dedicated network group like BNI, Chamber, or something along those lines. There's just a lot of value to that, and making that connection happen can benefit you, because it does a couple things for me. It gives me a specific time that I'm there to physically be a part of my business every week. It gives me that connection with other people who are also out there doing the hustle, which is kind of what this call does as well. All these Isagenix calls do that. They reconnect you with people that are trying to do the same thing you are. So I would encourage you guys to get involved in one of the networking calls if at all possible. All right.
Hey, Brent.
Yes, ma'am.
Are any of the Grow Week calls or the Thursday corporate calls, are they recorded? I know that they're doing a replay, but it sounds like they're still at a specific time. You can't just watch it anytime.
The Thursday is recorded. Like right now, if you go to isagenixlive.com, you're going to get, and you click the play button, just click on the face. In fact, let me double check it, but I'm almost positive that it's, let's see. Let's see, share. Yeah, so I think if we, yep. So if you just click on the guy, just click on David's face there, and you will get it. Now I got to turn it off. And the good thing about it that way is that you can actually grab the cursor and you can fast forward through some of that stuff as well. So you can move it through there if there's something that's that you're not jiving to or whatever, you can move right through it. Okay. All right. I think that's it, guys. I don't have too much else this evening. I'm really, I was so busy today with responding to messages. Like I was on that for I've done 2 hours worth of it today. There's no question I've done at least 2 hours worth of, and that didn't include the physical time of being there. So I would tell you guys that it's worth it, but it will occupy some of your time if you decide to start messaging back and forth on that. But it's good. It's causing some communication, and I needed that. All right. We good? Anything special? Anybody need anything else? Any questions, you guys? Like something else that you guys that's hitting you, that's like you're not having success with something that we can talk about? Terry, what are you having stickling with? Anything specific that's causing you to not get enrollments, or something that you think you could do different or better?
Oh, I don't know. I just keep talking to people.
That's good.
So I'm hoping they'll pick up on it eventually.
No, that's good. And that's what you do. You keep talking it. Because every time that you talk to somebody about it, you're practicing. It's all practice. And I was messaging a girl today that is, she's enrolled 2 or 3 people. And her comment back was, yeah, I'm not even really trying. I just keep getting asked about it. And sometimes But the difference is that she actually made some Facebook posts. She's made some social media posts about it, just out of, the fact that she likes it. And she's not being prompted to do it. She just made the post and people have responded. And so she's gotten enrollments from it. And all of her enrollments have been 30 days. So
Wow.
she's going through a process. And the reason I reached out to her is because I noticed that she kept showing up on my ISAPulse. So I'm like, I need to reach out to this person. So I reach out to him and start talking to him. And this is what I found out. And to me, and what I told her is, I said, you're doing more than a lot of people who are actually think that they're trying.
Right.
Right. So keep those conversations going, Terry. Don't be disappointed in that response. Like I say, if I showed you guys all the messages I sent out and the lack of number of people that responded to me, you'd be like, wow, you spent a lot of time and didn't get a lot of responses back. It doesn't work that way. You send out, you got to have, and I'm a little bit passionate about this. If you are someone who is thinking, I signed up a couple people and they quit, you're behind the 8 ball already. You cannot think that way. You've got the Isagenix Nutrition, actually any network marketing business is a very, very, very high turnover program. But it only takes a couple of people to change your, and it's a little bit of a cliche word, but your financial blueprint when it comes to Isagenix. You get a couple of people that actually say yes, and all of a sudden things change. I can take almost any leader in this business who's doing very well, and if they're really honest and really open with me, I can tie a physical name to their business bumps. Okay, I can take, and I've done this before, but I'll use Jill as an example. I can take Jill's thing, because she used to do her graph all the time and show, oh, this is when she rocketed this way, and this when she rocketed this way, and I can tie a name to each one of those accelerations in her business. One name, even though Jill's probably, we've got what we're approaching 30,000. So Jill's probably got 200,000 people in her downline. So if she's got 200,000, but I can tie a physical name to each time that her business has increased. Just one name. So having 100,000 people on your downline, or 10,000 or 5,000 or 2,000, whatever, doesn't mean as much as saying, oh man, when this person came on board, this happened, right? So don't get tied up with, oh, I enrolled Greta and Greta stopped.
Yeah.
Or I enrolled Terry and Terry stopped. Greta will be back, Terry will be back, they'll all come back around. And I can't tell you how many people I've re-enrolled. It's dozens of people that I've re-enrolled that have left and come back. So, but the important thing is that the people that show up that really take off and do the business, those are the people that you really want to be there for. And I can tell you this, no one that has ever taken off in our business have I ever had to drag. I've never had to drag anybody that has taken off in this business. I've never had to, how many of you on here have I called and said, directly said, get on this call? Right? We send out the messages, right? But that's about as close to dragging as it gets, guys. So if you've got someone that you're trying to drag into this business, stop. It's weight that you can't carry, and it's going to be, it's somebody that you're trying to bring in that's not ready. They don't want to do it. It's the same thing with the weight loss. I'm sure, and I got Greta on here and I got Michelle on here. How many people between those, you two have, like, seriously, you guys are the two biggest success stories that I talk about on a regular basis. You guys and Todd. Talk about you guys all the time when I talk about weight loss success. And if I talk about you all the time, you're you. So how many times are you guys talking to people and you feel like why do I have to work so hard to convince this person to use this nutrition? Can you not see it works? Right. And that's kind of what you got to do. But I can tell you this, right? Being honest and blunt here, looking at the faces that are on here. There's people, my neighbors, who've seen us at our bottom and have seen us at the top, and they don't do it. And it's not like they don't need it. And it's not like they haven't asked about it. It's not like we haven't told them about it, but they don't see it in themselves. So don't drag people, even though you're going to really want to, especially when it's like, when you're sitting there going, oh man, I really think you could do this. I really think you could do this. Don't do that.
Jill Bowman used to always say, put energy where energy is.
Absolutely.
And that's so simple, but it's so true.
Yeah.
For those with weight loss, for those with business, move on. And then she also used to say, follow back with them in 30 to 90 days or 60 to 90 days because life changes.
Yeah.
And so if you see something, follow back and touch them. But I used to be horrible, Brent. You know me. I wanted those people to lose that weight, and I would just be with them, and I would forsake everyone else for the one person that kept falling off the wagon every Friday.
Yeah.
And gain everything back. And finally, I just gave up, and I was like, I can't do it. If they don't want it, I can't want it more than they want it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So
yeah. If they're not willing to look up something, if they're not willing to kind of at least do some of their own, like the first few times, I'm going to kind of spoon feed you. But at some point, I'm going to hand you the spoon and say, hey, it's your turn. Right? Like, get your own bite. Right? Now, if you can't find it, then I'm here for you. But at some point, you've got to do that. And those people that rise up, you know, that really take ownership of things, and I'll give a shout out to Michaela. Michaela sent me a message the other evening, and she doesn't know this probably until now, but literally I had just saved my phone down to go to sleep, and she messaged me back, and I'm like, it's Michaela. I am going to stay, because she was helping me with something that I wanted done, and I knew that this was her time that she was available, so I'm going to make myself available for a couple reasons. One, I needed the help, and two, I know her schedule, and I also know that she's risen above the fray many times to help people. So those people that come in your life that are there to really do great things with you, be there for them. There's other people, I might wait until tomorrow to talk to you. Right? And I'm not trying to grade people or judge people. I'm just saying, yeah, you might have needed that help earlier at a different time. Right? So Michaela, thanks again for helping. I do.
You're welcome. I just want to share one quick thing on that note. Is one of my gals, who is one of my absolute best friends, has gone back and forth a lot. I think she was the second person I enrolled 4 years ago, and she and her husband both had great success with using the system. And she got basically her entire family signed up. But the way we work is much different from each other. And she is very much the type of person who, when you were saying like, oh, they quit, now my business is failing because that person quit. And if they're going to quit, then everyone else, that's her. She's focusing on the people who quit instead of finding more people. And when you say, go find more people, she says, I don't know anyone else. And this is just a tip for everyone. I stopped putting energy into helping her, even though she is one of my closest friends. She's who gets my kids if something happens to me. And I didn't even really tell her that I'm not going to help her with her business anymore. I just stopped engaging. And when she would complain that it wasn't going well, I just wouldn't respond. And when she would, say, no, I don't know anyone, or look at you doing so good, I will never be like that, I just didn't say anything. And now she's the one who has 3 people who won the 28-day shred because she had to take the ownership to do it herself. She signed up 2 people and her husband, and all 3 of them need to see when people people take hold of their own business and their own team instead of it being, she's always said, it's your team, it's your team. And this is the first time she said, they're my people won. And so going along with what Brent said, just giving people that shout out and letting them take reins. And it's really hard to do because you see the potential, but you can't be as they'll fail. Or if something, I work in seasons, so I have certain seasons where I intentionally choose not to put as much effort into my Isagenix business. And if she was ready to roll at that time, I was still choosing, nope, some time that I would say, I'll help you in a week. So just helping people to giving them more space sometimes is the system, and 2, to run their business.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that, Michaela. I really appreciate it. It's so true, you guys. The value to help it, and I've said this before, be the resource, right? And share your knowledge, but not your people, and all those little things, like kind of what Greta was saying, you know, the whole thing about, you know, come back every 60 to 90 days. All of those things mean something. And the longer that you're in this business, the more that you're going to see, because the instinct is if Leslie's the only person I've signed up, and I'm really wanting this business to work, then my instinct is to, Leslie, have you done any of this? Have you done this? Have you followed up with this person? Have you contacted this person? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? And I'm gonna Leslie her to death, right? And it's not bad that somebody doesn't want to do this business. It's not bad. It's just not their thing, right? And that's okay. But don't, because if you get in the habit of dragging people, that's where, like I say, that weight will set in on you, and it will stop you from being successful, or it'll certainly slow you from being successful. So that's my rant, if you will. Go ahead, Michelle.
Really quick. I'm guilty of doing a lot for my people in the beginning, trying to help them out. And I try to tell myself to like wean them off so I don't have to do so much. But it's true that if they're not willing to do it, they're not, even when you wean them off, they're not gonna keep going. And I wish they could all be like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I wish they could all be like I was, because the person who signed me up has told me 100 times, I didn't have to do anything with you. Because I was in the pages, I was doing searches, I was talking to people, I was looking up stuff. I was like immersing myself because I wanted it.
Right.
And if they want it, they'll do the same thing. Or they'll ask you how to do it or where to find it. It's like, if they're not really 100% in it, I mean, you have to give them a little bit of help in the beginning, of course, but if they're not in it, they're not going to fight for it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you told somebody that there was a post in Great Nutrition that if they find it, they make 10 grand, I promise you they would find it.
Brent, I screenshotted your post today for your challenge to post on your personal page. I screenshotted it and put it in my messenger group for all of the people that I've signed up. And I said, you guys could win something if you do this, and it's super simple. Here's what the post looks like. Go find it. I've had 0 response. Like, they just, I try to make it easy, but they're not doing it.
And I want you guys to hear this, because, and sometimes I think that sometimes I think that the impression is different, that you guys think that like I have it differently than maybe what you guys are experiencing. But I've got a group that I put together, messenger group that I put together, that has every consultant that I've ever created in that messenger group. And I sent out a message to them. Hey, if you sign somebody up, you know, between this time and this time, then I'm going to give you a special incentive. Crickets. Crickets. Right? And that's every consultant that I've ever enrolled. So understand that it's not just you, right? It's all, everybody has that. And you know what that tells me? When I did that, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. When I did that, I knew at that moment in time, I got to get back on the bus and start finding new people. Because if they're not, if my existing consultants aren't engaging, it's just a matter of time, you guys. It's just a matter of time before they're out. Even the ones that are making money, right? They'll leave just because it's more of it's cumbersome to make the money, you know. So they will leave. So don't feel bad about that.
One thing that we learned back in the home selling world was that if somebody does want to learn, that you have that conversation with them about, you know, this is what we're going to do for the first 30 days or whatever. And you just lay out how you're going to coach them and make sure that they know the rules. The rules is match each other, energy for energy, effort for effort. Make sure that that's clear, because if you don't make that clear, then that's when, you know, drama and issues come up. So that would be one suggestion. The other suggestion is I've never been with a company like Isagenix that has a multitude of resources, not our Facebook group. I'm not talking about that. I mean, the company itself has a ton of resources. The podcasts, I just put the podcasts in the Working from the Beach. Those podcasts are great. We should listen to them every single day. I learned some things today about, I did not know that Ionix, BIA, and eShots all had different kinds of adaptogens in it. And funny thing is, I just heard that we need to change up the kinds of adaptogens that we're having in our body, because our body, guess what, adapts to them. So we need to have different adaptogens. So you can't do Ionix every day. You got to change it up. So I'm just saying, I've been using this, having an eShot almost every day for 3 years, and I didn't know that. But my point is, you know, if Terry would say, Carla, I want to learn more about the products, then I'd say, okay, Terry, let's see how we can do that. Would you rather read it in isagenixhealth.net, or do you want to study isoproducts.com, or do you want to listen to a podcast? How do you learn? You know, and then go to it. Like I need to teach Terry how to use isoproduct.com, because Terry's gonna, and I haven't been doing a great job of this with Isagenix. I have no idea why, but somebody's like, hey Carla, which of our products have zinc in it? And I'm like, shoot, I don't know. Let's go to isoproduct.com. But why am I going there? You go there and then you send me back the article. Help me out. I don't know.
No, that's true, right?
Hey Carla, so if I start wanting to kill people again, I need to switch to like an eShot,
Yes.
and then I'm good for a while. And if I start wanting to kill people and I switch to BIA,
Yes.
that's what you're saying, right? I just wanted to check.
Exactly.
Just rotate around.
And I do want to say one more thing. There are not any groups in my life that I'm involved in. Not my church, not my networking group, not my family. There's no groups that I'm involved in that is not talking about the division with the election and all the stuff. You guys are the only one. And stay that way, because it's really important that we show a united front, and that kind of thing does not separate us. I know for a fact, because I've asked her, that there's people on this call that feel opposite of how I feel. But she would do anything for me, and I would do anything for her. And everybody can see that with our team. And everybody can see that, whether you know it or not, and we really have to just keep staying that way. I'm so proud of everybody. I don't see any of you guys making weird comments or being mean at all, but I'm telling you, people in my church and people in my BNI are doing some shit. And I'm just like, you're going to ruin yourself. You're literally digging yourself a hole. And I'm really, really proud of us. So just things are probably going to get worse, and just stay with it.
Yeah.
Because we are a positive force. We really are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and I would tell you guys this, you know, I never tell anybody what they can or can't put on their social media, but I would tell you that unless you're only wanting to do business with a specific group of people, then why would, you know, then I would not encourage you to do it that way. Because I don't care where you're at with that whole world, the other half isn't, right? And I'm not willing to cut out half of my opportunity. And I've said it before, and I truly mean this, is that somebody's political affiliation is the last thing that I'm going to judge you on, right? I would rather judge you on how you treat me, how you treat other people, all that kind of stuff. That's the rest of it doesn't matter. So that's as close as politics as we'll get here. But if you want to get thrown out of the group, feel free to post about politics, because I don't know how fast you saw it, but Tracy will throw your ass out of the group in a fast second if you make a post about it. So she has done that already a couple times. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being on the call. I appreciate everything you guys do for the team. And if there's ever anything I can do to help you with growing your business or doing whatever, I'm happy to do that. I would encourage you to listen to these calls in the morning if you can, and or the recordings in the evening. And then obviously the Thursday training is great training. And again, I would really encourage you to do it. And if you're going to hear this, because David Wood's going to tell you, if you actually listen to his podcast, he's going to tell, or not the podcast, but the training, he's going to tell you, don't listen to it while you're driving. Don't listen to it while you're jogging. Don't listen to it while you're working out. Sit your ass down, grab a pen and paper, and listen to it with intention. It's a couple hours of your life. You've sat and paid attention to other things, and it might actually help you if you sit down with pen and paper and take some notes. So that's my recommendation to you as well. And it's tough for me too, because I've got really bad, like I should be doing something else syndrome. But I would tell you to make sure that you've got that going. So.
Are we doing anything Saturday?
What?
Are we doing anything as a group Saturday? Because I'm open.
That's a great comment. We can you want to do a watch party for Saturday?
If you guys are open.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. It's at 11 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. So that's 11 Eastern's 9 my time. So 9 o'clock Arizona, 11 o'clock Michigan, and 10 o'clock Wisconsin.
Brent, you are busy.
I'm busy?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Tracy just called you out. Zach
What'd she
has a
say?
driving course.
What do I got going?
Zach has a driving course.
Oh, that's all right. He's driving. I'll be in the back seat. I'm on.
Brent's in the mode to say yes tonight. I have another request since you want to be so helpful. Send us all $100.
What? Okay. Everybody
There's
on
not
here
that many people on here.
Yeah.
Anybody on here that gets 300 BV worth personal enrollments, $100
What? Oh my gosh, that was easy. Easy
between now
guys.
and Sunday. 300 BV and personal enrollment.
So you
Personal
could help
enrollments, 300 total
people.
BV.
2 people with 150 would count.
2 people with 150 would count.
Only for the people on this call.
Only for the people on this call.
Ooh, ooh.
Calling it right now. Hang on. I got to take a picture of who's on this call, because I know there'll be somebody
Tell
trying
us
to
when.
sneak in on that one. Smile. Yeah, $100.
So you guys, I was half asleep, I think, and I accidentally sent a TikTok to our walking group that Todd has, which by the way, it was supposed to be done the 31st of October, and I'm super happy about the fact that everybody is still posting their miles and stuff. It's really kind of made me be a little bit more active than I was before. But I posted this. It's funny. If you guys want to watch it, it's actually pretty funny. But I apologize because I did not need to post it in those groups. But if you need something to laugh at, I highly suggest going back and watching it.
Well, thanks. We'll dig in to find that one.
I'm not kidding. Like, I probably have watched it about 50 times, and it's no less funny every time.
That's awesome. Post it on your personal page.
Is it okay to share that kind of stuff? I thought that we weren't supposed to, because they say like if you click on it, then it goes to the back to the person. I don't know. I've kind of like, and obviously y'all know this, like been a little quiet. I'm kind of health struggles.
Just do your
So-
thing.
And the political crap, like I can't do it. I just can't.
Just do your thing. Do you.
I'm working on it.
All right. Good.
I'm gonna DIY my own thyroidectomy here in a little bit.
There you go. Just
Seriously,
break it
YouTube
out.
I'm gonna YouTube it.
It's awesome.
I can do it. I know I can.
All right, guys. Have a fantastic night, and we will put together something for Saturday. We'll figure it out.
Yay! I miss all you peeps.
We missed you too.
Enjoy your tacos.
Later, kids. Thanks.